God bless everyone out there in Radio Land. This is Barry and Karen coming to you live from Dare to Be Different, live and Embracing Marriage Ministries. We come to you today after a long hiatus.
Yeah.
So now we're back and we're live, and we hope to get some people tonight. We may not, because it is Labor Day, it's a holiday, but it doesn't matter. We just want to be able to share with you what God has blessed us to be able to learn the lessons that we have learned and the different things that we have encountered during this time. But first off, we just want to say welcome again to our stream. We do pretty much do this during the week. We try to do it as much as possible. We try to do it at least 4 times a week at least. At least a stream. Well, today we decided to do it today because we hadn't done it in a while, and so we just wanted to kind of just share with you what we're going to talk about, I guess, in the future. But right now we're not going to just. We don't have, and just gonna be honest, we don't have anything.
We're just giving y'all an update of things to come.
Yeah, I guess we'll just tell y'all that we don't have anything like like a lesson or anything. We probably something might come out of this that might bless you. We can tell you some things that are pertinent to whatever you're going through now. The only thing is that right now, like I said, we had to take a break from it due to the fact that a lot of the stuff that we were using to host our podcast, we had to kind of catch up with it. But soon, our audio version of this probably won't post tonight, but we'll have our video at least on YouTube. So if you go to our YouTube page, which I'll probably supply the link before we go to show you, or you can just go to our website and check out all that, which is embracingmarriagetogether.wordpress.com. You can go there and check us out, and we have the different platforms that we're on. So one of the things that we're going to like I said, we're going to get on a more consistent schedule. And our normal schedule will be, we're just doing it tonight just to kind of let you know what's going on. But our normal schedule is usually on a podcast end of it. Was usually Tuesdays through Fridays. We do it from, starting at 7. We usually try to do at least no more than an hour. Depends on the circumstance. Use our podcast run between 30 to 45 minutes, but normally we kind of just keep them at that level so that we won't be too long when we post them. But normally we're about 35 minutes, but then we can run a little long because we might have some more interaction. People might come into the stream, so we'll get a chance to talk to them. And a lot of times we run a little longer than 45 minutes. On Sundays, well, we didn't do it this weekend because we spent some time together. If you didn't get a chance to see any of our posts, if you go to our Twitter, which is, like I said, all our banners are under here on our page on our Twitch. You can go there. Now that Twitter might take you somewhere else. I had to change it. I don't think I changed it yet, but
yeah, and also we gonna post some of our pictures that we also took.
That's what I was finna say. Yeah,
about Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, we had
a fun and exciting time. I mean, we embraced marriage together. I mean, it was awesome, much needed.
It's funny, but
yeah, we enjoy one another.
Yeah, we took the advice of a couple that I work with. Well, one of the guys that works with me at my job, and like I said, I mentioned about him before. he kind of befriended me. So he's a real good guy. I mean, he has his thing. He cusses a lot. He ain't you know. But other than that, I think he's a pretty decent dude. He has his moments. But he and his wife, they do that. They kind of just go out during the weekend, because he's off weekends now because his schedule changed when I came on. And so he and his wife, they go out and they spend that time, because they Nessa's his son's out the house now, and the youngest son, so he finally moved on, and so they're the empty nesters now, so they travel around and do whatever, and so he suggested that we do the same thing. So since the weekend was coming up, we took some time off. It's basically a 4-day weekend for me, because I was already off 2 days. So I took that Friday and Saturday off, and we ended up going to not too far from where we live. We live in South Texas, so we live not too far from Galveston. We went there. So we're on Periscope, which I don't have a link for that, but I'll try to put it in our thing, because we're going to be using it more often. It came out better there than we did the last few times, because when we was in the city, it was horrible. We got on. We went to
strange, huh?
Yeah, it's funny. It did that signal was better on water, because my son called, and he got his call clear on water better than we did on land. So we went and did a podcast one time in the park. We had went and was walking that time when the weather was better. When it wasn't, hell wasn't on earth at the time, when it wasn't so hot. It wasn't 100 degrees and 1,000 degrees outside. So we was walking during the springtime. We was walking, and so we ended up trying to do a Periscope, because he decided, well, hey, we out, we just go ahead and do one. So we looked at, we didn't look bad. We just looked like we walking and just looked normal. So we got out there, and man, that thing stopped and did everything it possibly can. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. So I think we hadn't used it in a while. And our best actual Periscopes was when we was on that ferry. Because I did one time. I was on my way to go to a doctor's appointment. I did one. It came out like I was videoing like straight from the phone or something. And so we actually decided to do one. We did one on the way there. And I think ferry ride was like 15 minutes, so we did like a 15-minute one. And then we had one maybe about 5 minutes coming back. We was tired. We didn't want to talk no 15 minutes. We just told them, hey, just look at the video, look at pictures. We'll see y'all later. Basically, that's what the Periscope was about. Because we went and did what's called a duck tour. This is vehicle called a duck. The duck is actually an amphibian vehicle. It rolls like a truck, and it actually floats on water, so it calls a duck. So it has a tour. It tours you around the city and gives you a little bit of history about the place, and we found out some interesting things about Galveston that we never knew. And then Galveston had went through 3 destructive hurricanes that pretty much destroyed the place, and they rebuilt it 3-4 times. And basically, it lost a lot of people, and they had a memorial for it, which is a pretty one. She had a picture of it on Facebook, and I think she put it on Twitter too.
Just Twitter. We have to put it too. I'm gonna put it on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Well, it's on our Twitter, so that y'all go to the Twitter, y'all can see all that. The Periscope's on the Twitter too. We uploaded and shared it with our Twitter. Yeah, you can check them out there. So, yeah, well, we had a pretty good time. We got, like I said, we went out early. Well, we was aiming to go earlier that afternoon, but we ended up going like, I don't know, about 3 something. We ended up getting there about 4 something like that. And so we stayed till close to 8. We spent about 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, because the tour lasts about like an hour and something.
Yeah, like an hour, close to an hour and a half. So. And so we did tour last. It was the last thing we did. We walked around the beach, and we decided, well, she wanted to do that. Because we went to one spot, which we ended up taking a picture of. We didn't go in. We just took a picture of it. Because you had to go walk around. It was $10 per person, I think, was it? 10 per person?
Yeah, just to walk around.
Just to walk around. You didn't have to ride. The rides had rides. And it was on a pier. It was like a pleasure pier, something like they called it something. and so it was a pier, and they had rides and concessions, and they had a restaurant right there, a bar right there on the corner, and Bubba Gump's, what they call it.
Yeah.
And so we walked in to say, well, we're just gonna walk around, we're just gonna walk around, look at the sights, and see people go up in 50 feet in the air in that swing and look like it's gonna throw you in the ocean, and on that Ferris wheel, the very end of the pier, that kind of thing. I said, nah, I can't get on stuff like that. So we was gonna walk around. We walked up there, and I said, babe, I bet you, I'm pretty sure we gotta pay to get in. Say, no, ain't that one. Okay. So we walked up to the thing. So they said for you had to pay I think it was $40 if you wanted to ride, but it was $20 if you were just walking around. So he's like, nah, we gonna do something else. But for what it was, but then we thought about it. She saw that thing and I said, well, she said, okay, well, we'll go check that out. And they had two of them. They had to run them two at a time. They run them like one behind the other. And so we ended up finding out about it, and we ended up going we ended up walking around kind of killing time until it, because I think when we found out about it was like 30 minutes before the time. So we ended up going somewhere. We ended up going to Wendy's. It was hot. I mean, it was hot out there.
It felt like 105.
Yeah, it was 1,005. It was hot out. Galveston. That beach, all that concrete, that sand, it was hot.
And we didn't even walk a block.
No.
I mean, we was sweating, and it was like we was drenched. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, so we ended up going to Wendy's, and we sat there until had some smoothies and stuff like that, and sat there and hanged out until it cooled off until the time. So we made that like 5 minutes before, and we loaded up, and us and a few other people, because they had to get so many people for the to run it.
Yeah, I mean it was a nice tour. Like I say, and you go through this little what is it, like a well, you could go kayaking and all kind of little boat.
Well, that's something else. That's water.
Yeah.
That's the water tour.
Yeah,
this
well,
thing
they took us through that.
Well, what happened, and I know what she's saying. What she was talking about, because the thing ended up going in water. So we had part of the tour was on the street, and then until you get to a certain point, then it goes into this thing called this bayou in Galveston that says bayou. So they ends up going in the water on the bayou. So while he's floating us around on the bayou, he's showing us all the stuff on the side and telling us about how this.
It threw me off guard, because I thought he was just gonna just go. I didn't know he was going in the water, because we was on wheels.
Yeah.
So and he went down. I'm like, what? Ain't a bitch.
Yeah, he pulled the wheels up, and next thing you know, we was floating on water like a boat.
And so, because he gave us this little sweet speech before we started, if you want to put on the life jacket, this.
Yeah, they got to do that for Coast Guard. Tell you, it's a Coast Guard thing.
So he threw me off. So I say, well, maybe he just gonna just bring it, halfway down. We can just look around and and see. So that was, my little mind. I'm looking. I said, oh, okay, let's just see a little view right here. No. And the thing started going on. I say, well, we gonna float with these wheels.
Of the water,
I say, we gonna float these wheels off. I almost felt like. It was nice.
But we was on. Well, what really made it kind of scary for her, because we was on the very back. We was on the back seat, and the seats high up.
And I'm right by where I could just.
She next to the rail.
And it wasn't no like little small, no closed in.
No, it was like wide
open.
That rail space was like this between us.
I mean.
And on top of that, it wasn't no sides. It was just
nothing.
all open.
It was all open. So I said, well, and I thought about saying, Lord, of all the places I could have picked to sit.
You picked to sit in the back.
I said, nah, honey, the only thing I do is floop.
Yeah, if go to the side, and that's it for it.
But
Under the water we go. But he told us, gave us if we have to abandon ship, go out the back or sides or whatever. He told us the speech. So he had to give it to us because the Coast Guard there, because it's a watercraft. So it's considered. He told us about how they used it during World War II and how they were used overseas and stuff like that, and they discontinued them. So some company bought them, and they ended up being only two that they owned, and so they ended up using them for tours. So now that's what they do. They call them ducks.
Yeah.
So. But it was fun. I mean, we had some fun with the people who was with. Some people that was with, they were pretty funny. So they talked more than the man did.
Yeah.
I mean, he really was telling us really interesting stuff, and they were just running their mouth the whole time.
Yeah, they were just talking all over my
yeah, all over the more man. So one of the things he was telling us about, which was interesting, they had one particular. See, you have to understand that Galveston is an island. It's surrounded by water. It's surrounded by two bodies of water. Actually, it's surrounded by the Gulf of Mexico is on one side, and then you got your Galveston Bay on the other, and it's pretty much surrounded. So it's basically just an island sitting out in another. It's not that many people, and I'm trying to. I didn't know it was only half the population of my city in that thing. It was 51,000 people on that island. That's a lot of people. But if you look at it, it's just like any other place. I mean, it's one big place. It's like a big city.
Yeah, they just got it just divided different names. Like they got the Bolivar Peninsula, and they got all the Crystal Beach as you coming in. So, but it's all one. They just named it different things. But as
Galveston itself was a separate entity. It had now one thing we learned about them. They learned how to consolidate. They got their police, their fire, and everything in one building, and it's big. The rest know how to consolidate, because they was talking about that. They say they had somebody else. They had the town hall and something else and another thing in another building. They put all these things in one building.
Yes,
I'm like,
good God.
They consolidate. They really know how to do it.
I was like,
the prison, the fire department, the police department, the communication, something else like that. It was all in one building.
I mean, it's like
all law enforcement
and
EMS and everything was right there. It was crazy, but it was fun. It was because we had never been to parts. There was parts of Galveston I had by myself rode around in certain areas and seen certain places, but this was areas that I had never seen. You know, and it was interesting because they had big lots and all that kind of stuff. They got stuff that Bombay ain't even got. But that was a place. The furthest I ever been to that place was to the hospital, which they have the main medical hospital branch out there for the University of Texas Medical Branch, was UTMB, is known as.
Yeah, and Moody Garden is real nice.
Oh well, that's where we went before.
Yeah.
Well, that's the big event that we did. We didn't have a camera at the time, and we was having issues with the phone, so we didn't take pictures.
We didn't have a phone.
We sure didn't. We just got we ain't got the phone yet. We didn't have no way to take a picture. This time we did. So I say next time we go.
We do have pictures.
No, we have pictures, but I mean we don't have
like we do
now.
Today.
Yeah, we don't like we have now. But next time we go though, we gonna do the same thing we did before. And a lot of y'all saying, these people just talking about their trip. That's all right.
This is Labor Day. This was our Labor Day weekend. This is our
Labor Day. Tell us what you did on your Labor Day. Leave in the comments, leave whatever in the comments. Tell us what you did for Labor Day. Tell us what you did, because we want to know what you did too.
Yeah.
But say, how is this protecting the marriage and being different? Well, it's the way you act when you go other places. See, here's the thing. A lot of people, you have to understand, we went to a place. Fortunately, the beach we went to, it wasn't too much of, it wasn't one of them kind of beaches where you see, you see thongs and stuff everywhere. Now I had a few people bathing suit, but it was too hot for anybody to be in anything other than full clothing. I mean, you would have burnt. You'd have burned up.
You would have burnt.
Yeah.
So just about everybody out there had on just regular clothes.
Yeah,
they
everybody was pretty much dressed. They dressed regular.
Yeah, it was no bathing suits. People had on regular clothes trying to cover their skin. It was so hot.
Because the beach actually itself was not that big. It's because of Hurricane Ike, and had ate up a lot of the beach. So they don't have a whole lot of beach, but Seawall Boulevard, which is actually on the side of the coast near the beach, is nothing but hotels, restaurants, shops, different things like that.
Yeah, it's good for touring. If
it's a tourist thing.
Yeah, because it's all on one side, all the touring, the shopping, and all the food you want to eat on one side, and then you go on the other side, the seawall. So as you walk the seawall, that's where they beach at, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And it's long. It is a long.
They say it's 30 miles. They're saying it's 31 miles. He said that the wall was. Seawall was 31 miles.
I know. I think because we drove at least 80 something blocks.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, that's
But no,
really
we didn't get the whole seawall. He said it
No.
was like the whole seawall was like 31 miles. So I was
So it's
like,
probably
we
like
didn't
a-
ride the whole
No,
seawall.
because it's like over 100 and something blocks.
Yeah, it's
At least.
a lot.
It's long.
That one street, yeah.
That
But-
long street is
But
and it's full of. I mean, it's you see something the whole way. They have restaurants, food, clothes, exhibits, you name it. So if you want
Yeah.
to travel and vacation, honey, that's the place to go.
But the best place to go if you want to see everything
Yeah.
is Broadway. Broadway is the biggest, one of the biggest streets in Galveston. It's one of the oldest ones, he said, and it is. It's like a main.
Yeah, it's a tourist.
Yes, it's
tourist.
it got all the store. It's every store and every thing you can think of is right on that street. So it's mostly your business district. So it's more your businesses and your restaurants, your stores and your mall. I don't think they had a mall. Yeah, they
had
did.
one. Yeah.
It wasn't that big, but it was a mall. But it was on that street. Broadway was your main street, and then every street, like she said that my wife commented that it's the only thing she liked about it. Every street take you right back to Seawall Boulevard.
Oh yeah, you won't get lost.
You won't get lost. You want to get to Seawall, you just head south.
Yeah, every street gonna lead you back.
You'll hit Seawall eventually. Because believe me, it's the biggest one, and it's next. It's I think it's the largest street, but the next one is Broadway. But it was interesting. It like I say, we have a lot of the pictures we did. We took pictures of the monument. I think you took a picture of. It was a lot of us in different places. We took pictures of the pier. We had one nice picture of us when the sun was going down, because we got back, the sun had just went down when we was on the ferry. We took it in the background. We didn't take the actual sunset, but we took us in the background. We did in the background. We actually, the name of the actual ferry was in the periscope. We did the scope on the ferry there and back. We took a different ferry back, but we took the same different one there. But yeah, it wasn't, like I say, it was pretty good. If it wasn't so hot, it would have been better, because it was hard kind of just walking around waiting for that thing, because we had to end up going inside, because it was just too hot just to sit around outside and just wait on that thing, because we'd have been there. If we'd have melted by the time that thing would have started.
I tell anybody, if you're gonna go, honey, get you a chair.
Yeah.
But they did have some little spots where you could put your, your chair and sit, by the beach and by the water. So we were just going basically to walk around and look and enjoy.
Yeah.
But I told him, I say, honey, next time we go out there, honey, we gonna have some chairs.
You're gonna have to sit down, because that's a lot of walking.
Yeah, because we was trying to be cute, and I had my little sandals out to wild my feet. I say, I say, oh no, honey. I say, next time we.
I was just more hot. I wasn't hurting anything.
I was. We gonna
as
find
a matter
us
of fact, the shirts we have on, the shirts we wore. So we wore the shirts for
I
it.
say, we gonna have some chairs. We
Some
gonna find
Labor
us
Day
a
shirts.
spot by the water with some shade.
We went and got these shirts at one of her special store. And
we would not be slow roasting no more.
we ain't gonna be.
No,
we ain't be rolling over open fire no more.
It was hot. It was hot. It was hot.
That's what we felt like. We was rolling over open fire. Cause man, I mean, and they did say, well, fortunately, it's good though we went, because today, yesterday and today, a day for you. Well, Saturday it started raining.
Yeah, because we started to go Saturday. And I
Started
said,
to go
nah,
red,
yeah.
And we ended up going Friday, Friday afternoon, and we're glad we did, because Saturday it rained, Sunday it rained, and then Monday it's still raining.
Yeah, and then we got flooded in. I couldn't make it to work.
Yeah, that's why you're looking at them.
Yeah, flooded in. I was like, I couldn't even get out to even make it to work.
Yeah, so she ended up having a 4-day weekend after all. So,
yeah.
So we spent a lot of time together.
Yeah,
and,
embracing one another, embracing marriage.
Yeah. Now we got to go back to that.
It's our job.
And roll with the rest of the slaves. As a reference to Titanic, you do told Leonardo DiCaprio told that chick. He said, "Well, so I'm gonna go back and roll with the rest of the slaves." Told her rowing the boat. Yeah, go back to work, man. Well, good thing because I mean, honestly, there's nobody there right now, and the main business part of it. But the hospital itself, of course, never closes unless we evacuate. I think when evacuated, it didn't even close. They stayed open.
It was still open.
Yeah, so that thing never closes. So we always are open. And there's cases where the business part of it is closed on weekends, so she works that area. And so I do security, but I actually, like I said, I took off that day, and we had the time, and I took it.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get more time, and spend more time together.
Yeah, and we actually we enjoyed it, and it was much needed. We always encourage everybody, to embrace one another, embrace marriage. That's what we are about. So, and that was just our way we wanted to share that. Get out, enjoy life, enjoy family, enjoy one another. Take each day as it comes.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I know you probably actually say, why y'all talk about embrace so much? Well, here's the thing. When we first started this, because we haven't really officially made it legal yet, we're planning to, because I want it to be a legal ministry, because we're starting it, really. It's just on its beginnings. And the reason why it really, how it came about was when we went through what we went through on last year, when we finally was coming to the place of really listening to one another and coming to some places of agreement. We still had some work because we had to resolve some things. We hadn't resolved them, but at least we're not arguing anymore. And so we decided, when God started dealing with me about doing it again, because this was God's idea, actually, and we have to apologize to you people, because we had really not really taken it seriously as we should have. And because if we would have taken it serious, it would have been a whole lot more podcasts, and there would have been a whole lot more people that would have been blessed by it. Yeah,
and would have been further along.
But the thing is, we're going to make up for that. And we're going to do, because we realize that this is something that God has given us. It's not something that we just decide to do because we ain't got nothing better to do. We decide to do something together.
Yeah.
This is something that God has given us to do. And even our stream, I forgot to give you the rest of my schedule, because like I said, Sundays and Mondays I usually stream gaming, doing the gaming part of our ministry, and I usually come. I actually have, and I want you to check it out, I'm going to upload it tonight. I actually have a clip when I was talking to my mod, one of my mods, Godly Geek. You can go check him out. He's on Twitch as well. I was talking to him, and we was discussing about being real. And because I was talking about a situation that had happened where I ran across. I don't know if anybody has kept up with this kind of stuff. I usually keeps up. I might know I'm a current affairs kind of dude, so I keeps up with this stuff. And then I have friends who keeps up with that mess too. It's I ain't say mess, because a lot of it is interesting news to me. My coworker, same dude, he's the one who showed me this. Now, mind you, let me tell you. I can't tell you too much about him, but I'm gonna tell you like this. He's not a Christian. Now, he has Christian upbringing. He went to church. He was in church. He just cusses a lot. I mean, because it's bad. Because he was in prison. He was worked in a prison for 20 years, 15 years. So he had that mentality. Still does. And he hasn't really never known. He just retired that too long ago. So he still has it. But he's better. He was one of them kinds. He snap off. If you snap off on him, he gonna snap off on you. It's some one of them kind. But he finds you good. You listen to him, he fine. But once you go left, he goes left with you. So he's one of them kind. So, but he's a good guy. And so one day, he said, Craig, because we call each other by our last name. He said, Craig. He said, man, check this out. Check this. Look at this blankety blank.
Yeah.
Man, look at this blankety blank. I say, man, what you talking about? He said, look at this blankety blank, man. He pulled up something on, I think he found it on, somebody said on YouTube. No, he looks at news. He found it on the newsreel. In Little Rock, Arkansas, they had some kind of thing they had, and they had this statue of Baphomet. Baphomet. I'm gonna tell you who Baphomet is. Baphomet is a figure of Satan. It is a statue. It is of him in his, I guess, physical form, whatever, of the goat. You know, the goat Baphomet. Mm-hmm. So he's on this. They had a 30-foot statue of this satanic being in the capital of Arkansas right now. If you Google it, just say Google satanic statue Arkansas, you will find it. It will show you, you get the image, it will show you a picture of it, and it'll tell you why they put that sucker there. And these people were ecstatic because this thing was there. Let me tell you what's fit to happen. And you mark my words. Whenever you open the door to that kind of principality in any place, there is going to be more trouble than you can shake a stick at.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes, I'm telling you people, keep your eyes on Little Rock, Arkansas, on the state of Arkansas. Keep your eyes on it.
And do much praying.
And pray for them, because they finna get themselves, they got themselves in some mess.
Yeah. Pray
for the saints and pray for the ministers and gospel of Arkansas that they will stand up. And this was the disappointing part. They said they had more people there. They had a bunch of people. They had a few. They said a few people, disappointed people carrying Bible verses. A few. Why was it packed out with nothing but these? Where all the blood-bought, demon-fighting saints that we used to have back in the day? Man, back in the day, and ain't no way in the world. We had, and I'm gonna tell you this, and we gonna get off. They had a case. I don't know if you remember this, babe. They had a case when they tried to open up a strip club here in this area. In our area, we got a street they call Virginia Boulevard. Virginia Boulevard is one of the largest streets in our city. And it is near the college. It's like down the street from the college. And Virginia Boulevard toward our freeway, I-10, which runs through us, toward I-10, is nothing but businesses and buildings. So in that area, back in the day, I think it was in the 80s, they had somebody had bought a building and was going to open a strip club right down that street. They had some preachers. This man did not. Yeah, I was friends with his brother. He and a bunch of other Baptist ministers stood up and protested against that, and they got that thing gone.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward 10 years later, we have Hooters, which we went there to Galveston. Galveston has one of the largest Hooters in Texas.
But they did try to protest
They tried to protest it. 10 years later, they had a Hooters that came up in Beaumont.
Yeah, they did try to protest
They tried to protest it. But for some kind of reason, money talked louder than them, and they end up keeping it. I think they come to some kind of agreement somewhere along the way, but you don't hear too much about nothing going on there, man. And people don't even talk about it anymore. It's just there, really.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, somebody stood up. What happened to these people? Where are these people now? Why did anybody do anything? Okay, they pulling down statues of people, of Robert E. Lee, and pulling down statues of other folk that was historic. Why didn't pull that one down?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to understand. Why didn't somebody come and hook a rope to that one and pull that one down like they pulled down these monuments they've been pulling down for the last few years?
Yeah, if you put the 10 Commandments up, they want to take that down. Anything of Jesus, God, and Christ,
anything.
They don't have no trouble coming together, rallying to get it down. I mean, we done seen this firsthand. But they done had, I mean, even down here where they done had people with the 10 Commandments, they done had stuff with Jesus and God, and they would come and they would make them take it down. And I'm like, whoa. And here you could come have devil worship and all kind of parades with the Satan marching down the road. And I'm like, what the world?
They parade that same statue through the street in Colombia, South America, Colombia. And I'm like, really? Colombians already having a problem. They already going through, and you gonna bring the satanic church in there to solve the problem? That's not gonna help. That's gonna make it worse. It's already the biggest problem there. They got drug problems. They got poverty problems. They got a lot of other stuff. Why bring the devil in there so he can mess it up worse? But you know what? If they went to the Supreme Court and said to them, hey, y'all can't have the 10 Commandments anymore, then why didn't somebody say, hey, we ain't gonna, y'all took down our monument, we're taking down yours.
Exactly.
So then all of a sudden it'd have been a violation of the Constitution, of freedom of religion, because they consider that a religion. Satanism isn't considered a religion in the United States. That's sad, isn't it? But it is. It's the truth.
Yeah, and I think that's why they really allowing it to stand, because it is a religion to whoever.
If they'd have put up a mosque, they wouldn't have no problem. If they'd have put up a Buddhist statue, they wouldn't have a problem. I wouldn't even have had a problem. But a satanic statue? No. I would have had an issue if they. Now, the reason why I wouldn't have the issue if it had been a mosque, because at least a mosque is a house of worship somewhere, and a Buddhist temple is a house of worship. But that was not it's an idol. It's basically, that's no different than what the Antichrist will be doing in the last days, to set up an idol of himself in Jerusalem, right beside the Dome of the Rock. The abomination of desolation, they call it. Just set up an image of himself, just a statue of himself. So basically, they would say, okay, whoever engineered that had to have been from Satan, because they say, okay, so that shows you that the walls have been torn down spiritually, that we have not made a fight in the spirit realm, and we just letting stuff happen. So that's why we believe in dare to be different. We believe in daring to be different, not going according to the status quo, because the status quo is messed up. So we got to live this thing the way God say live it. And if we can't, then that's what we was talking about during that. And I'm gonna bring that video up and put it in the playlist so y'all can see it. But that's enough of our soapbox moment. So it bothers me, man, when I see people say that there was only a few people out there with Bible verses. That bothers me. Ain't nobody pleading the blood. Ain't nobody hollering against it. They wasn't a bunch of preachers like this dude. They stopped this club from being built. I even spoke against a club one time. God told me, he said, I want you to speak against that club that is shut down. It was in my hometown when I was living in Louisiana. Had a club open up. They stayed getting somebody killed every week. God said, I want you to speak to that club and kill it, shut down. And I did. And guarantee in a week that thing was down. It's no longer there. So that's what I'm saying. You got one time we had a fortune teller, tarot card reader, whatever, down the street. Spoke to that. I say, babe, we get that thing got to go in the name of Jesus. Gone.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, now it's a day kissing that thing. They ain't stay long.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
So you got to stand up against them spirits. Had a friend of mine, young prophet, he's apostle now, quote unquote. He said he did that. He spoke against that one down on the freeway not too far from us, man. He said he did that and spoke against that thing and thing out. But if you got to take authority over those things, if you don't, they going to just take authority over you. And that's what happened. Ain't nobody take authority, and guess what?
It's going to take authority over their city. Somebody got to rise up, and they got to do much prayer, and they got to speak.
That's it. You're going to speak against it. And once you do, I guarantee you, they'll find a way to tear it down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they'll find a way. So it's not going to last. I'll guarantee you that. We speak against that principality that's standing up. It's not going to last. He's not going to stay, because we're going to have some people. We're going to pray for people to rise up out of the dark places and out of the caves where they are and speak against that stuff. So if you hear about it, like I say, just Google and check it out and pray for those people in Arkansas, because it's finna get some trouble if they don't. All right, well, we done with that. Okay. Like I say on the agenda, when I do my game stream, Sagan will be out on Destiny 2. It's coming out tomorrow. For those that need to know that. I won't be getting it on that day. Probably be sometime that week or whatever. When I do, I'm gonna stream my version of it. I'm gonna go through the campaign, probably during that weekend, if I get it that weekend. I do it that weekend, that Saturday and Sunday, and do a little Gambit. They had a Gambit deal this weekend. I was gonna stream it, but it was just only 24 hours, so I missed the. I played around with it, but I didn't. We had other things to do, so I ain't fool with this weekend. But I say once we do it, I'm gonna get together with my clan again. I'm gonna do a mature audience thing for them though. Get with my clan again, and we're gonna try to do it one more time. I'm gonna give a DV, one of the clan leaders, and say, hey, let's get the team together so I can do stream. I say, don't invite Rooster.
But I think he know the. I think he know.
He know now. No, as a matter of fact, I'm telling you, yeah, of all people, if you don't invite nobody else, invite Rooster, because I'm going to get Rooster saved.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Get Rooster converted, man. Yeah, it's going to be like my boy. He's going to work. He had work. He like him. He going to stop cussing as much. So, you know.
That's what it's all about.
That's right. That's right. Making a difference, man. They'll be different. So we thank God for y'all listening to us. We're going to shut it down, but we are going to continue our schedule. Our schedule is already up. It's 9:30 to 1 Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. And at 7 p.m., we're going to say when it stops, but 7 p.m. Tuesday through Friday. That's our new schedule, and that's what we're going to stick with, and that's what we're going to go with.
Yeah, unless I decide I want to do something like this.
Well, yeah. But we'll let you know. Most time we know. I try to do that, keep us from having so much on us. But like I said, unless we decide to do something different. But as it stands, that's our schedule for right now.
Yeah.
But like I say, praying for us that we continue to do what we need to do for the kingdom. Look up these great streamers that's with us. My moms, thank God for them. I know they ain't joining us tonight. But that's cool.
Yeah, we just want to wish. We wish y'all a happy Labor Day.
Yeah, happy Labor Day to God the Geek and to Armor Faith, the Way TV, Cornerstone 777, who's streaming right now.
Yeah, to you and all and your family members.
Yeah, all you guys.
Yeah, happy Labor Day.
Yeah, happy Labor Day to y'all. I know a lot of y'all aren't working, but if you are, you gotta go back
those
tomorrow.
that are, barbecuing and wrapping it up and eating and kicking back and relaxing now, probably watching some football game and
something. Yeah, because I know it's going on somewhere.
Yeah,
we didn't see because my team ain't doing nothing. I don't think my team playing tonight, so whatever. I'll check the NFL.com and see what's the set date. But like I say, y'all be blessed. Like I said, we'll see you on tomorrow. We will be podcasting tomorrow. We're probably gonna do another be different, and then we're gonna do 2 marriage ones for Thursday and Friday. So we'll have something ready for you on that one.
Yeah. And on this note, be blessed. Happy Labor Day.
God bless y'all.